Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen at home. Welcome to another edition of Sports Update on AYOGEN TV. I'm still your small boy, Adewus Oladeji. A lot of things has been happening in the world of soccer. So far, so good. Permit me to say Happy New Year's to you once all again. This will be the first edition of Sport Updates so far in this new year. A lot of stories going on around the world of soccer. Permit me to take it up from the Nations Cup, which will commence this coming Sunday, and our darling Super Eagles will be featuring against the likes of Egypt, Sudan, and Guinea-Bissau. Let me take it up. Super Eagles friendly match ahead of Egypt's clash confirmed. The NFF and the interim coach of the Super Eagles, Austin Aguafon, has confirmed a clash that will be played in an indoor with a Cameroon top flight champion against the Super Eagles. Also, Okoye believes Eagles can lift Nations Cup. Super Eagles goalkeeper Maduagu Okoye says he is optimistic that the team can win the 2021 Nations Cup that will be going on in Cameroon. Let's see whether it will be real or not. The Super Eagles believe that if peradventures they won their match against Egypt, subsequent matches they won, they believe going into the tournament with the crops of players at hand, they will deliver at the Nations Cup. Quickly, let me take you to news around the Euros before we go on transfer news. FIFA President Gianni Infantino has suggested that the Euro could take place every 2 years. The FIFA President Gianni Infantino has suggested that the Euro will be taking place every 2 years. FIFA President saying this during a meeting with the pressmen actually confirmed that Euro will be played 2 years. FIFA President Gianni Infantino suggests that European Championship should also take place every 2 years if the Men's World Cup could become a biennial event. The plans for a biennial World Cup could have generated much debate after being proposed by former Arsenal Gifa Arsene Wenger, who is now FIFA head of global football development. Liverpool EFL Cup clash postponed. The Liverpool Football Club of England have confirmed that temporary closure of their first team training facility due to a rapid growing number of suspected COVID-19 positive cases in the squad. Furthermore, the EFL Cup semi-final first leg against Arsenal has also been scheduled to hold tonight, has also been scheduled to hold another time due to the rapid COVID-19 parading the team. A news just coming in now is that Manchester City also has been struck with COVID-19. Manchester City and the entire team, with some players and the backroom staff, have been struck with COVID-19. Quickly, let's take a look at some transfers updates. Ruben Neves on the radar for Manchester United. The Wolves midfielder has 2 years left on his contract, and United could make an offer around €5 billion to lure Neves, a client of Jorginho Mendes, away from the Midlands this month. Also, Manchester United throw Donny van de Beek, Dean Adamson, and Eric Bailly are all unhappy at Manchester United because of their lack of playing time. They are all open to move this month. Chelsea are considering a move for Barcelona and United States fullback Sergio Dest as an alternative to Ding. Recall that Chelsea Football Club is eyeing the endings of Everton over some move to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have been struck with injuries, COVID-19, and the likes are ravaging the team. The Chelsea Football Club are looking ahead to bringing Lucas Dings of Everton into the club. Another news coming from Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have stepped up their interest in Monaco midfielders Uren Tomachune with a view to a summer move out of the Blues, also remain keen on Declan Rice. Let's take a look at a news coming up from Camp Nou. Barcelona defender Samuel Umtiti has been offered to Newcastle United on a potential loan deal with an option to buy back. Barcelona, one of the giant clubs in Spanish, are looking to dish out Samuel Umtiti to a team in England. Borussia Dortmund head of first team football, Sebastian Kehl, has revealed that the club will make a decision over Haaland's future in the next few weeks. Spurs are in Chelsea former wonderkid. Tottenham Hotspur are eyeing Chelsea former player Eric Lamptey. Eric Lamptey, who is also being overlooked by Arsenal at €50 million, is a potential star at Brighton Football Club. Let's take a look at issues surrounding African Cup of Nations. Ahmed Musa leave Super Eagles camp. Captain of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Ahmed Musa, has left the training camp ahead of the 2021 African Cup of Nations. Musa missed the team last training section on Wednesday after losing a family member. The Fayed Kamaraju of Turkey winger was given permissions to travel and be with his family member following the loss. The 28-year-old will, however, join up with the rest of the squad in Cameroon ahead of Nigerian first game against Egypt on January 11. Meanwhile, another striker, Odion Ighalo, may not feature at the tournament following the refusal of Al-Shabaab to approve his release. A clause in the contract is signed with Saudi Arabia club, which indicates that he was no longer an active international for Nigeria and was now preventing him from participating at the tournament. Still on AFCON 2021, why we can offset Super Eagles? A defender from Guinea-Bissau, Fanade Mendy, has explained why he believes his country can upset Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Pharaohs of Egypt. Mendy stated that a win against Sudan will boost their confidence needed to face the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Pharaohs of Egypt. African Cup of Nations will get underway on Sunday. African Cup of Nations, which ought to start in the 2021, was aborted due to the COVID-19. African Cup of Nations will get underway on January 2022 in Cameroon as the host nation. The host nation will face Burkina Faso in Yaoundé. Recall that it was in the last year that the tournament should be held, but it was stopped due to the COVID-19 that ravaged the whole country. Let's take a short break before I bring in my analyst for today's section. Welcome back on board. Still sport updates on AYOGEN TV. With me here in studio, I have two beautiful comrades, or let me say my analysts, which I don't see it. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
Good afternoon to our esteemed viewers out there. Welcome to Sport Update, live from AYOGEN TV. Sit back and relax and enjoy the program with us. I'm Olariwaju Ezekiel by name.
Mr. Ezekiel, it's nice to have you here.
Thank you.
And my brother.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to all our viewers out there. Thank you very much for listening to the program. My name is Morakel Akitayo Ahmed, speaking to you on the program Sport on AYOGEN TV.
Mr. Ezekiel, it's nice to have you, and Mr. Ahmed. Mr. Ahmed is the DOS of a beautiful faculty in Adeyemi College of Education. It's nice to have you on the program Sport Update. Quickly, gentlemen, let's briefly discuss some trending issues in the game of soccer. Just of recent, yesterday night, Chelsea Football Club of England defeat Tottenham Hotspur by 2-0 in the first leg of the Carabao Cup. Chelsea Football Club, Tottenham Hotspur. We know former Chelsea coach is the present coach of Tottenham, which is Antonio Conte. Yesterday, Chelsea Football Club defeated them 2 at Stamford Bridge. What's your view about the yesterday match?
About yesterday match between Chelsea and Tottenham, I could see that Chelsea shows Tottenham why they are the champions of Europe. And yesterday, you could see that the experience really counts in terms of the experienced player that we have both in Chelsea and Tottenham. Though the set of player in Tottenham, I can't say they are young player, but the kind of coach they are playing under, as in, I mean, Tuchel and Antonio Conte. I'm not saying Conte is not an experienced coach, but I could say the team generally, as in the experience generally, really showed yesterday. And to me, to my point of view, I think Tottenham need to do some transfer this January. You could see yesterday that the whole midfield was collapsed. As in,
Exactly, there is nothing in the midfield. Chelsea actually dominates the midfield.
Tottenham midfield yesterday without the likes of N'Golo Kante. I'm still so surprised that Chelsea could still dominate that midfield from Tottenham. So I think January Tottenham need to do some transfer this season, and you could see that this guy, whenever he's not, uh, should I say, whenever he's not on form, I mean Harry Kane, this team really suffer as in Tottenham.
Yeah, yesterday he was out of no point. He was not even playing to the best of ability yesterday.
I will advise Tottenham to go out for some players, the likes of still have some better players. Most especially, Tottenham need a creative midfielder. That's what I can see.
It was so surprising seeing Sao Niguez taking over the midfield yesterday.
Yes, that was what I'm saying, that Tottenham need to go out for a creative midfielder this January transfer window. Should they, if they are still aiming for that top 4 and if they still aiming for any trophy this season, they need to go out for a January transfer window.
Ahmed, what can you say about yesterday match, Chelsea against Tottenham?
Thank you very much. About that match, Chelsea really will play well. But I can see that their performance yesterday really depend on their last few performance or the last few results on the other games. As you can see on Premier League, last 5 games of Chelsea, winning, losing 1, drawing 4, and even not able to gain a 3 point either at home or away. So that is why they now put the pressure on Tottenham yesterday, and they dominated the game right from the start to the 90 minutes of the game. The problem Tottenham is really facing is just that a lot of the players are not coping yet under Antonio Conte as per his formation and tactics. As
Is actually concerned.
yes,
You know, Antonio Conte is majorly known for his 3-4-3 formation.
yes, and normally the tactics and tradition of Tottenham Hotspur is 4-3-3 diamond, well 4-3-3 flat, and now when the game is over, it will switch to 4-4-2 diamond, in which Harry Kane and Ominson will only be
The major player outside
at the same time. So they really tried a lot, but Chelsea dominated the game.
Okay, should we expect a turnaround in the second leg, which will be played at Tottenham Hotspur Field?
Yes, sure. In football, anything can happen. There is nothing can happen until the end of 90 minutes. And that yesterday, as you can see, the 2 goals came from an own goal.
Exactly.
In which no Chelsea player put the ball at the back of the net throughout the game. Although own goal is also caused by a
player, because I could see that it was a direct kick from Hakim Ziyech that leads to a goal, same with cut.
And 2-0 is not a special scoreline in football as last couple of
Liverpool, Chelsea also did a comeback against Liverpool.
Sure. So anything can still happen in the second leg, and it will be the advantage of Tottenham Hotspur because they will be playing the second leg at the White Hart Lane Stadium, which is the home stadium of Tottenham Hotspur.
So do you see Chelsea still netting at White Hart Lane Stadium?
Sure. The Chelsea style of tactics it is easy for them to net at any stadium, even Camp Nou, the biggest stadium in Europe top 5 league as far as football club is concerned. The Allianz Arena, which is the most dangerous stadium in Europe top 5 league as far as
football is concerned. They suffer defeats too.
Yes, they can net in any stadium as far as their current form is concerned. That's just the fact of it. So any miracle can still happen, but I see Chelsea still winning the second leg.
Going all the way through the Wembley Stadium, where the final will be played. Mr. Ezekiel, do you see Tottenham still coming back in the second leg?
To me, I don't see the way and pattern that Tottenham played.
In some weeks' time, the second leg comes up.
I don't think it will be possible for Tottenham to have that comeback with that style of play yesterday. I think to me now, Tottenham need to do the needful, stay focused and play their normal game. There's no need for them to entertain any fear because to me, yesterday, 15 minutes to that match, I can study and see that maybe this fear factor of Chelsea being the champions,
Especially their back lines, they were
yes,
not
being the
really
champions of
composed.
Europe, maybe
Tangaga
that's
and the
what's
likes,
affecting
Davids.
them. Yes, yes. And that's what I'm saying that the experience really counts yesterday. We can see that the two goals was caused by this guy, Timmy, is it not Tatanga or
Taganga,
yeah,
Taganga.
yes,
He was
yes.
the one who
Two
caused the
goals,
two
yes, the
goals.
two goals was really caused by him. So that was why I said the experience really counts yesterday. So to me, I don't see any comeback for Tottenham in second leg because Chelsea also will be aiming for the final also. So for me, it will be a huge task for Tottenham to overturn this 2-0 deficit.
Okay, now another match which also comes up tonight is Arsenal against Liverpool. The match has been rescheduled due to the COVID-19 in the team. We've witnessed a lot of cases whereby they played some matches irrespective of whether some team have COVID-19 and the likes. There was a time Liverpool Aston Villa actually played a match, and if half of the team of Aston Villa had COVID-19 and the match still go on. Now, the English Premier League Association is cancelling the match against Arsenal against the Liverpool. Is this a politics or a cautions to the COVID-19?
To me, in the matter of postponing the match due to COVID-19 break, it was a caution to COVID-19 because on December late last year, it's just from where year, the player also are the one complaining about their welfare that there should be some measures to take by the England FA about concerning the matter of the league and the staff welfareism in general. So yesterday, about seven first team players of Liverpool already contacted the West Ham
COVID-19.
and also their backup staff. And in football,
14 backup stars.
14 backup stars making 21 in general. And in football, there will always be eye to eye, body to body contact, in which it is very dangerous even to the Arsenal team. You see, maybe after the match, the Arsenal has
Even after the Chelsea Arsenal, it was stated that N'Golo Kante and Thiago Silva has been tested positive to COVID-19.
So that's just it. There is a lot of measures that should be put in place concerning the league, and the postponement is very well if you can think about it because the two teams are a very big team in which the stadium in which the match will be held this night will be populous about 60,000 capacity. A lot of fans will come in England and other country to watch that ball, and through these things, a lot of fans can even contact the West FM virus and
COVID-19.
yes.
Okay, so Mr. Ezekiel, what's your take? A match has been postponed, and we have a cases before where Aston Villa played against Liverpool. Out of even all the first team players actually have COVID-19 except their goalkeeper there, and the match still actually goes on. Now a match has been postponed just because of COVID-19.
To me, I think the FA in England has done the needful by postponing that match. But postponing the match, to me, I don't think it's only because of the player, the backup staff, and I think the first coach, Jurgen Klopp, is also affected.
Same thing with the assistant.
The assistant. So you can't expect Liverpool to come to field of play without a coach, and it's not allowed after the first team coach, the second team coach are not around. No other staff of that team can come in place to coach that I think that issue of Jurgen Klopp and the assistant coach really affects that much, not of that player. I think if it's only the player, last season that Liverpool and Arsenal met, is not quarterfinal or round of 16. Liverpool feed most of their under 23 players against Arsenal, in which they won on penalty. So I think they can still do it.
And this time around, even though for the fact that your coach is struggling with COVID-19 and the assistant is
affected
with COVID-19. So my analysts are telling you all that it is a very good precautions and a very good step that the FA has taken, that they postpone at the match between Liverpool and Arsenal. And let's quickly take a look at African Cup of Nations games coming up this Sunday. We have our darling Super Eagles of Nigerians jostling to be one of the one of the team that will crown as the champion. We have the Pharaohs of Egypt, we have Senegals, and we have the champion, which is Algeria. Algeria is the one with the trophy presently, and they are coming back to retain the trophy. Now, the Nations Cup will commence on Sunday. Super Eagles is having a lot of problem. Odion Igalo is not around. Victor Osimhen is not around. Even Ahmed Musa is not even started whether to start. Mr. Ezekiel, what can you say about this? The Nations Cup as a whole, Super Eagles.
I think if the needful is done, there's nothing stopping Super Eagles going beyond quarterfinal. Though a lot of setback has really affected the team.
You know, they just have an interim coach.
Yes,
Austin Aguafon.
from coaching to the player themselves. The main two players that we really relied on, the likes of Emmanuel Dennis
and Victor Osimhen.
Osimhen has been stopped by their clubs, as in they are not allowed to
play for us. So Osimhen was actually injured. He had COVID-19.
That was what Napoli said. But who knows
whether he was actually stopped not to play for us.
I read the news that this guy, Ismaila Sarr, has been released by Watford to play for Senegal. So who knows? But in the first place, Watford told us that this guy is injured and he cannot be, he won't be allowed.
He can play. Ismaila Sarr is playing for Senegal.
To play in this forthcoming African Cup of Nations. But along the round, this country, Senegal, took up the case and write a letter to FIFA that the FIFA should sanction Watford for releasing this player.
Yeah.
Now, Watford now later come back and tell us that
Ismaila Sarr personnel has certified. He has been certified to play for Senegal.
So who knows? Maybe Napoli are just deceiving us that
Victor Osimhen doesn't have injury
so
and the likes.
I think if the needful is done, I'm not expecting the Super Eagles to win this Nations Cup, but at least
they should perform.
To be a better outing for us in this coming AFCON.
Okay, Mr. Ahmed, what's your take on this? The Super Eagles is having a lot of problems. Victor Osimhen is not around. Odion Igalo, Emmanuel Dennis, Ahmed Musa, and we are bidding to win this African Cup of Nations. Our last outing was actually not too bad. We came back as a third position. So this time around, do you expect the Super Eagles to make it up to the final? Based on the fact that we have Algeria, who is the champion. We have Egypt. Egypt is also in the group with Nigeria. We have Senegal, and we know the capacity of Senegal and Morocco too.
Yes, thank you. About Nigeria, the Super Eagles, I expect them to be at least at the semi-final stage, because if we look around to other countries who are participating in the tournament, the likes of Morocco, Algeria, Senegal, Ghana, and Cameroon, the host nation, there is no team that have the kind of caliber of player Super Eagles having, both home or abroad. In a team in which we are having a player like Alex
Iwobi, Kelechi
Iheanacho, William Prosecom,
Chukwueze.
A lot of foreign players playing in the big name club in the whole world. Player playing in Netherlands, Portugal League, even in fact England Premier League, Spanish La Liga, that's Alex Chukwueze playing for Villarreal, the defending champion of the Europa League.
Exactly.
So that you can't compare that to a country that is coming up with 23-man squad of 20 local players and just 3 foreign players. So that's just it. But in Nigeria, I don't know how the players perform sometimes. Although I can't blame them, because the payment are not encouraging and the match bonus are not also encouraging. Those are the factors that usually reduce their performance in some tournaments. But I believe in the players and the coach also, the interim manager that has just been appointed after the sacking of our former manager,
Grenadier.
Because the truth is just that made the man is the one taking us to the African Cup of Nations. We do not expect anything. That's just it. Because even when he was in charge, we are struggling to beat Cape Verde, a country that's not up to the southwest geopolitical zone of Nigeria, struggling to beat DR Congo, struggling to beat Togo. We we understand that football is more or less of that, but at least Super Eagles.
But let's take a look at it. He has actually done so well for us. We go to African Cup of Nations, we come back with what's it called, bronze medal. Although it was in the semi-final that Algeria defeat us, is it not a lone goal scored by Riyad Mahrez?
Yes, yes.
So I mean, actually, I was thinking they shouldn't have sacked him in the first place because the Nations Cup is fast approaching. So bringing in another coach, an interim coach, to take the Super Eagles to Nations Cup is quite alarming because there is no what's it called, preparation. Because they are just arranging a just indoor friendly for the Super Eagles against one of the top flight club in the Cameroon. And the Super Eagles, we know, even if they play 50 friendly match, they will still go to any tournament, even being disappointing their fans. So I still think that Grenadier should have been the best option.
Yeah, you said it well, but one thing about football is just that sacking coach and obtaining another one in a period in which the tournament is about to start. We fans always see it as a bad option, but looking at it in another way, looking at the Super Eagles for the last couple of months, especially throughout last year, the spirit of the team spirit has been down to that winning spirit, everything. The players are just playing just to showcase their talent. They are not ready to win.
They are not playing as a team, they are playing
Just
individual
playing
games.
individual games. But this time, bringing Austin Eguava, a former coach of probably Osun United or Sunshine Stars of
He
Akure,
was also once the Super Eagles coach.
was the Super Eagles coach. I think there will be a lot of changes in the team. Number one is just the team spirit and the orientation of the team. There will be a lot of positive orientation, like, okay, you are going here to win. Different from the white man, the general that just coaching us before. Just name the first 11 of players you want and let's put them on field. No simple tactics, no instruction,
No
no
formations.
formation. So there will be a lot of difference. I expect a lot of difference. That's just it.
Okay, Mr. Ezekiel, do you subscribe to what Mr. Ahmed said that Grenatura has always been a man with just putting a player on the field, no tactics, no formations, and considering the fact that the Nations Cup is fast approaching, the NFF shouldn't have sacked this man in the first place. What's your view?
To me, I think the Nigerian Football Federation has really taken a wrong step, as in wrong step by sacking this man.
Grenatura.
It's not up to a month to the African Cup of Nations when you are sacking this man. A couple of days ago, this man, Austin Eguava, is complaining about that. He doesn't know the whom to choose among the
Four goalkeepers, exactly. There is another issue presently now that he doesn't know who to give number 10.
And which this man has already been used to. Genetro, we all know that it's either Maduka
Okoye
or Daniel
Akpeyi.
That one has been settled when Genetro is there. We all know, though we can say that Genetro did not have the, should I say, the main starting 11, or the goalkeeping.
It has actually been between these two goalkeepers, Daniel Akpeyi.
No, he's not complaining that he doesn't.
He's having selection headache.
Yes. So to me, I think NFF has made the wrong step there. I think they should have leave this man to take Nigeria to the African Cup of Nations. Then after the AFCON, then you can take any decision you want to take. But to me now, nothing can be done again. Guafon has been appointed as the interim coach. I would just advise Guafon to maybe watch one of these guys, their clips in their
previous matches they played with Super Eagles.
Their capacity.
With this little time, do you think it will yield a positive response?
That's what I'm saying, that NFF has really taken a wrong step. They should have leave this man Genetro. But you never can tell. This is football. Anything can happen. In 2012, when Zambia won the African Cup of Nations, the whole squad was arranged not up to 3 months, and they won the AFCON.
They even beat one of the finest squad then, Cote d'Ivoire, which have Didier Drogba.
We can never say you can never say that Super Eagles will win or not. But to me, I would just advise Genetro to stay put to his normal formation. Maybe you go back to the time when he coached us in 2006 or 2010, then watch some of those clips and all this
You know, Super Eagles is also known with 4-4-2 formations.
Yes, but the issue I'm having with this coach now is that I hope NFL will intervene
In the selection.
because we all know NFL, they are used to this issue of interference in Super Eagles stores. So I hope this won't happen again. If it happens again, then I'm not expecting anything from the Super Eagles.
So we are hoping the NFF this time around won't interfere in the selection based on the fact that Austin Aguafon is just a little bright to the Super Eagles. Let's take a look at the issue of European Championship being played to 2 years. We know if European Championship is being played to 2 years, that means FIFA World Cup will be played to 2 years. Let me take it up from Ahmed. Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president and the former Arsenal coach, and Arsene Wenger are proposing that European Championship should be played to 2 years. Won't this competition be useless, especially the FIFA World Cup?
The truth is that the competition will be useless because if you look at the competition history a couple of years ago, there are just little difference of country that are usually qualified. We all know that where I play qualifier for the World Cup in Africa, Nigeria, South Africa, probably Ghana, and just two countries will be the one that will surely qualify. Seeing these countries play the same type of competition every 2 years will just be of a very very boring one. Immediately the FIFA president raised that issue up. I think a lot of players already talked about it that the World Cup is the most interesting tournament of.
Yes, I think Kylian Mbappe actually reacts
Yes,
to
they
it.
talk about it that once you are taking it to every 2 years, it will be very bored and useless. That's just, I think, Harry Kane, Kylian Mbappe, Zlatan Ibrahimovic already talk about it also that it shouldn't be 2 years. The 4 years is a normal year in which the competition can be played. Every single year we are watching the EPL, the Champions
Premier League,
everything. La Liga. And this same set of players
And the one playing in the
that
World
represent
Cup.
their country playing the World Cup again. With country that faced themselves 2 years ago, now facing themselves this year again. You know, that would be of something that would be very bold. Even to me, as a football fans, it will be a very bold one. That's just my point of view about that.
Okay, Gianni Infantino proposing a 2 years bid for European Championship, same thing as FIFA World Cup.
To me, I don't know who is bringing up this issue of bringing FIFA
World Cup to 2 years, which is known for 4 years.
I think we are all used to the 4 years thing of a thing, and to me, to be a wrong move if this thing should eventually come to that the Europe and the FIFA World Cup will be now stayed every 2 years. To me, I think we are still battling with Africa Cup of Nations being played every 2 years now, and I hope this 2 years of a thing won't clash with Olympics and Commonwealth. You know, Olympic is actually host every a year after
FIFA World Cup.
I mean, a year is that a year?
A year before FIFA World Cup, the 2021.
Yes, I hope this won't clash with Commonwealth and Olympics. We never know what FIFA and the other football governing body, who knows what they say that they are saying that they are bringing it to 2 years.
Actually, their own point of view was the fact that playing this competition in 4 years, it's somehow long, that the competition is somehow the kind of festive competitions that bring joy to the people, that it should be played frequently, 2 years of interval. They are looking at the instance of African Cup of Nations being played in 2 years.
And even we should also consider the referencing of the player. This same of player will play the Carabao Cup, EFL, Spanish Copa del Rey, the UEFA Champions League, Europa League,
DFB Poker,
a lot of
the fatigue resulting.
For the little 6 weeks in which they will have to rest, those are the time the FIFA will also be planning to host the competition. Imagine a player vacating on 20th on 20th of a month, then resuming back to his
his nations to
4 days
play.
later. Immediately after this same World Cup, FIFA World Cup, they will surely resume back to the football club, which is their primary assignment. Like it will be a very bored and stressful one for even
it will be a very disastrous to the particular club they are representing.
Yes, that's
okay. Gentlemen, let's take it up to some transfer updates here. I have a lot of transfer updates with me. Chelsea is actually looking for a replacement in Lucas Dings and Dest from Barcelona. Ahmed, I know you are from Barcelona. Do you see your club releasing Dest for Chelsea Football Club?
The fact is just that Barcelona are into a lot of debt, about 314 million euro as at now, and even the player they already signed, that's Ferran Torres from
Manchester City,
they are still unable to register it till now due to the larger scale of salary their wages they are paying to other club. So they need to release at least two players now to register Ferran Torres even before
okay, so we should expect them to release Dest for Chelsea.
The truth is just that Barca is desperate to sell any player now. Even their best player. They are desperate to sell.
Barcelona is desperate to sell any player.
Yes. Presently today they are already agreed a loan deal and a buyback option to Aston Villa about Philippe Coutinho. I think that's the third most paid player in the club for now. De Jong is obtaining about 40 million per year and followed by probably Samuel Umtiti and Freddie and Philippe Coutinho. So Barca could sell Sainodes to Chelsea, but what we should just consider is just that presently Chelsea is having a lot of crisis in the team, and it's not a short crisis. Imagine their residence is out for about 7 weeks now. In this period of 7 weeks,
even Ben Chilwell is out for season, and Leon is not ready to release a Marcin for Chelsea.
And they can't just rely on Marcos Alonso because normally Tuchel is just a coach that didn't just have the option. The fact is just that Marcos Alonso is not suitable for his formation. That's just the fact. And I will support Lucas Digne of Everton as a better replacement to the left back to obtain the position of the left back of Chelsea
to replace Ben Chilwell.
Marcos Alonso, just to support Marcos Alonso as of now.
As a backup,
and also they need a right full back because the residents they are using is already injured about 7 weeks now, and this time around, once a player injured, you can't predict what will come up even after he recovers. As Fati came up from 13 months injury, played 6 games, scoring 4 goals and providing 1 assist, and immediately after that game, he went back to another 3 months injury again. So there's no probability that after the 7 more weeks of residence, he may even be out of the season. And since Azpilicueta is not a right full back from the start of his career, they are just managing
yes, it was this coach Austin Moreno that converted him to that position.
Back up for their right wing back and left wing back presently in this January transfer window.
Okay, Mr. Ezekiel, what's your view? Manchester United is choosing Ruben Neves of Wolverhampton Wanderers.
To me, having Ruben Neves in Manchester United squad presently will be a very good addition to that Manchester United team. But the issue I'll be having is that with this guy gel with pattern of play can get present of
Ralf Rangnick.
Because to me, I think if you are saying you should name any teams with one of the best midfields in England, I think Manchester should be around 1 to 5. The likes of Nemanja Matic, the likes of Obado is injured.
Yes, Van der Beek, Fernandes,
they are not really
Fred.
Expectation. So the issue I'll be having is that with this guy also gel with that pattern and he live up to expectation when he gets to Manchester United. So I will still advise Man U to still stick with their player now. Maybe this man should change the information, go back to the Man U pattern of 4-4-2 because we all know
Manchester United to be a 4-4-2 team.
Yes, we all know that Man U are not the team that operate from the midfield; they operate from the flanks. Only for this their former coach, this man changing the pattern. Right on time, though Manchester United They may not have the best four, the best 10, but the
Or
best seven,
seven,
the best 11
11.
that's
should be in Manchester United in those days. So I
Yeah.
think maybe this man should go back to their old pattern. I mean the wings pattern.
If
They have the players
peradventure
of
it
this,
works
they have
out,
the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo,
Ronaldo,
Sancho, Marcus Rashford. So to
uh,
me, I don't
and
think
Marcin Greenwood. Marcin Greenwood is also there.
I don't think Man U needs
Ruben
this
Nas.
guy Ruben Neves, but if he eventually joins Man U, it will be a added addition to that team. But the issue is that we hit gelled with that team with the Gengen presence of Ralph Rangnick.
Now, so okay, Ahmed, Ruben Nas coming to Manchester United, like Mr. Ezekiel have said, uh, Manchester United coach Ralph Rangnick needs to look into the formation. He has actually been operating with 4-2-2 formations, which presently they've not even. I think they've not won up to 3 matches since he came into the club.
Ruben Neves is a very good signing, but it will just be useful for the coach that we appointed immediately after Ralph Ragnick served his 6 months.
Because Rangnick is an interim coach.
He's an interim manager. He's an important signing, although, but I don't even see a difference between you having Jesse Lingard at the bench and you going out purchasing Ruben Neves. I think they are bidding around 45 million euro for it. The truth is just that January transfer window, you can't get a player at a lesser price. That's just it. Because the club selling the player for you, we know that you need this player urgently.
That's
So even a
that's
player worth 20 million naira, 20 million euro, his club will be requesting for around 35-40 million. You also that is going for that type of player, you won't have any option than to buy it at that high amount because you need it barely at your club. The fact is just that the spirit of the team has been down for years. No winning spirit.
no winning
anything.
spirit.
The truth is just that even
Okay, should we say they should go to like Mr. Ezekiel has said earlier? Should we say they should go back to drawing board? They should go back to 4-4-2 formation.
They should go back to 4-4-2 formation, but you can't just go back to a formation with a new coach, different coach with different pattern. It is just as if you bring in Pep Guardiola to Chelsea and expecting him to take in over the 3-5-2 formation of Thomas Tuchel, then started performing. No, he will buy a set of players, go back to the drawing board, using his 4-4-2-3 formation and a fast counter attack and tiki taka. That's just it. You know when Pep Guardiola obtained the job of Man City, in the season transfer window, he offloaded 13 first team players.
Yes, the likes of Yaya
Toure, all those Yaya Toure, Kolarov, Negredo, Zabaleta. Only Fernandinho, David Silva,
and
Sergio Aguero, and Vincent Kompany are the one who left. He brought in the Jesus, brought in De Bruyne, brought in Ryan Stanley, a lot
Kelly
of
Walkers.
So that's just
the lives.
Manchester United obtained another coach today. I don't see any miracle because the coach has.
And they have one of the finest best midfield presently in the English Premier League.
Yes, they may have the finest best attacking midfielder, central midfielder, but may not be suitable for the coach that will be given the job next. That's just it. Imagine you expecting Bruno Fernandes to play tiki-taka formation under Eric Ten Hag because that's the coach they are eyeing at the end of the season that will take over the job. He will reshuffle, sell a lot of players, then brought in his own the player that knows that this player set of player will fit the type of tactics you want to use. Look at Xavi as FC Barcelona. Currently, yesterday he used 10 La Masia player. Out of the 10 La Masia player, only the goalkeeper Neto is the one that didn't graduate from the club academy, and they performed very, very well. He brought in Jotla, a very 19 years old small player. And the second half, Usman.
So that means Manchester United still needs to go back to drawing board.
Yes, they need to go back to the drawing board, do a lot of changes in the team, and that's when the team.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen. Let's before our time is up, so let's quickly take a look at English Premier League again. Let's go back to English Premier League. We'll be taking 2 more topics from English Premier League. We'll be taking the officiating and the present COVID-19 ravaging the league presently. People have been complaining about the officiating in the English Premier Leagues, we can see what actually happens, the match between Manchester City, the match between Chelsea and Liverpool. Should we say the English Premier League are yet to reach the top, because their officiating has actually have a lot of questions to answer? And should they cancel or stop the English Premier League for now? Mr. Ezekiel, let's take it up from you.
To me, I think some years back, we all know that the best referee is either he's from England and Premier League or Spanish La Liga.
Even mostly from Premier League.
But after the introduction of
VAR
to English Premier League now, it has really, should I say, downgrade the level of officiating in England, because there are certain decisions that this referee needs to make as on their own. But first, they will need to consult the VAR. Maybe they should do it or not.
So that means the VAR is the one even causing a lot of
affect their officiating. I will still remember in 2020 up to 2013, this man
McClattenburg
was nominated as best referee. Yes, well, if you can remember, 2010 FIFA Club World Cup, Premier League produced up to 16 referees, both the central, the
linesman, and the fourth officials.
In 2018 also,
World Cup.
Yes, World Cup, they're producing up to 9 or 11.
They produced 11 officials.
Premier League only produced three.
And based on the fact that the VAR has also been causing a lot of controversy.
Yes, I think the VAR has really affected their officiating.
Okay. What about the cancellation of the Premier League? Should we still be playing the Premier League, or it should be stopped for a moment?
The best interest of the game, I think I would advise English FA not to cancel the league, but the COVID-19 precautions should be
taken paramount.
Maybe the numbers of
fans that will watch the match should be reduced. Then they should take social distances and the likes.
Yes, we should also be followed to the latter, because I think these days now, fans don't really care about the issue of
COVID-19, because we could see they are not even using their nose masks anymore.
Again, so I think the issue of social distance should be followed up to the latter now. Cancelling the league now will be a major setback for the league, because this year we are having the World Cup. So are you not telling me that the league should be postponed to May or June, when we are having the World Cup November, December? So to me, I think
they should do the needful. All the precautions should be taken. So Ahmed, what's your view? Officiating in Premier League has also been calling for a lot of questionings, and the COVID-19 ravaging. Different club has been having issue of COVID-19, but majorly English Premier League has struck it.
I think for the interest of the league should not be closed for now. There should just be some precautions. If you look at the Spanish La Liga now, they reduce the number of fans that can come into 75% of the capacity of the stadium. That means we are having 100,000 seater capacity, only 75,000 will
be allowed to come and watch
the
match.
So we just be a precaution.
So the officiating.
I don't see the influence of VAR in the officiating of the referee. I can only blame the FA. From my own point of view, in the last 5 years now, Premier League officiating is just one of the worst in Europe of 5 years. Since the England FA has been interfering, what I don't see there is just that once a big team is topping the league about 5-6 points ahead, there will always be a form of bias toward that team. That's just
so. Amedino is actually believing that even if the Premier League is not producing a lot of best officials this time around, as the sticks with the team that is topping the Premier League.
Yes, that's just, if you can remember, so I mentioned when Liverpool are topping Manchester City about maybe 8 points or 9 points. Again, 2 points. And they are playing 1-1 draw against Wolf. Wolf scored the winning goal at exactly 91st minute. The goal was reviewed for more than 11 minutes and then
It
later
was
cancelled.
cancelled.
And it was really that the goal was
So what
offside.
in a nutshell, because our time is fast approaching,
Yes.
what should be the solutions?
The solution is just that the referee themselves should receive and do some maybe seminar for further, because it is really tarnishing the image of the league. As you can see in the Qatar 2022 now, FIFA is calling up only three officials from England,
England.
which is the lowest the league has been recorded for the total number of decades now. My calling only Magdi as the central referee, Michael Oliver and Chris Paulson for a video assistant referee. It has never been so
So
few.
it was so disastrous.
Just ordinary German Bundesliga, they are inviting three central referees. Imagine comparing the German Bundesliga to the English Premier League.
So we hope that English Premier League officials will turn a new leaf. Here we will be dropping the curtain of sport updates. By Saturday, I will still be coming with another edition of Sports Updates. I would like to appreciate the member of my crew. Let me firstly appreciate my analyst, Mr. Ezekiel. It's nice to have you here. Just a one word to our viewers at home.
Thank you to our esteemed viewer for following us. Stay glued to AYOGEN TV and keep following us. I'm Olariwaju Ezekiel. Meet you some other time.
Now, Mr. Ahmed, what's to our viewers?
Thank you to all our viewers outside there. We really appreciate you. My one advice is just that you should keep participating in sports as it relieves the body from stress and sickness. I am Miracle and I am
Thank you for that piece. Let me quickly appreciate all the entire crew that play host to this successful outing today. My studio manager, Mr. Blessing, I will really appreciate you. The editor, Mr. John, and to our director, Mr. Solidario Falegon, we really appreciate you. Until next time that I will still be coming your way, I'm Adeus Oladeji Habib. Keep doing sports always.